Hello, everyone. I just going to take this tweet that someone had done on Twitter, Ochilla01. Showore calls for free Nnamdi Kanu protest and invites Peter Obi and Atiku to lend their voices. So he's just reflecting, and he said Peter Obi refuses to get involved. Twitter. Peter Obi wants Nnamdi Kanu to stay in prison because his release will diminish his popularity in the southeast. Nnamdi Kanu gets convicted. Peter Obi, I have always maintained that Mazi Kanu should never have been arrested. His arrest, detention, and now conviction represent a failure of leadership and a misunderstanding of the issue at stake. Twitter, we knew it. He's a terrorist sympathizer. So the thing is that whether if Peter Obi speaks on Kanu problem, Peter Obi doesn't speak on Kanu problem. Almost everything is about waiting for Peter Obi. This. There's a particular statement that I'm going to read I'm going to look at the statement that Peter Obi did on Nnamdi Kanu, and the way people, Twitter have gone over it in this. I saw a picture someone said that, oh no, this is the end for Peter Obi. The North, it's being analyzed in the North. Northern radios are carrying. The poverty is not being analyzed. The insecurity is not being analyzed. The killings are not being analyzed. The fact that terrorists are carrying children and feeding them to dogs is not being analyzed. The fact that terrorists are raping a woman that just gave birth and raping her mother on top, they are not being analyzed. The issue of out of school children and marginally all over the streets where they are not, they, are- they are vulnerable to learning all manner of devices. They are not getting education. It's not being analyzed. It is Peter Obi's listen that is being analyzed to say that, oh, let me just say, let me repeat what I said years ago. Voting Peter Obi is not doing him a favor. It is us getting someone that is interested in the country and has sympathy and empathy for the people to be in a place so that he will work and let us begin to repair our country. So this whole attitude, oh, we will dare not vote. Let me tell you something. Most of the political this thing that you see, elite to see, whether whoever we vote into office, they don't care. They will survive. Last, Peter Obi will be okay. You understand? But will you be okay? Will the citizen of Nigeria be okay? Will your neighbor be okay? That's the main issue. So don't let us not think that we are doing him a favor. It is us trying to say, let's put in somebody that wants to do the Jackie work in fixing Nigeria and doing it for the poor masses to get it. Let me just look at, so let me go back to this thing that I wanted to just trying to find this thing. Yes, I found the post, the Twitter post that someone did. He said it's known as at Novi Everest, something like that. Some of the handles on Twitter, the handle is some of the names. It's easy. You don't even know what you are reading. He said, I promise to summarize this post. I'll focus on just one statement. Nnamdi Kanu should never have been arrested. So he's summarizing the statement that Peter Obi, did. I'm going to start there before I go on to the statement. He said the arrest here was not the 2022 arrest. It was the first arrest by Buhari. So he's explaining that the arrest, because when people, Peter Obi was talking, some people are looking at it as the arrest from Kenya. And I also have said that thing. Nnamdi Kanu was never supposed to have been arrested. Arresting him was what gave him that court-like following. Arresting, well, when it comes to like, oh, you are not trying to bully this thing. Yes, he was calling out Buhari. Who is Buhari that they will not call him out? If you don't want to be called out, don't be president. Peter Obi is president. By the time Peter Obi is sworn in as president by the grace of God, they will call him out. If he doesn't want to be called out, he should go and stay at home. Buhari spent how many years? Is it 12 or 16 years? I mean, 12 years wanting to be called out because he saw the president that was there being called out. He continued. So you can't come into office and say that they will not call you out. If you don't want to be called out, go and stay in your house. Nobody is going. You can't come and govern people. Anybody that doesn't want to be called out should not be in public space. No matter how good you are, people will call you out. Definitely. And those are the people who are doing right by you. Because by calling you out, they are pointing your attention to certain things. Go and fix those things so that they will have more new things to. As they are calling you out on issues, you are fixing them. That's the way it's supposed to be. He said the arrest here was not the 2022 arrest, it was the first arrest by Buhari. Nnamdi Kanu started before GEJ left office. GEJ ignored him completely. He insulted GEJ, Peter Obi, OBJ, everyone, and they ignored him. I dislike him then, and I still do, according to this person. But that's no crime. He called for Igbos to boycott the election. Yes, I remember that. He called her, and this person said, I hated him for that, but it was not a crime. He's no hero. I remember that was when I did it. I said, it's foolishness boycotting election because there's, if to say the only way that boycotting election would work is if you said you need a certain percentage for the election to be judged to have happened. But here, you don't need any part. If it's 10 people that came out to vote, those 10 people, well, they will count them. It's as simple as ABCD. You get 25% of those 10 people in every state, and so and so number of states, you are good to go. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter the number. So boycotting it, you're removing yourself from, you're disenfranchising yourself by yourself. And those were the things I was saying. And then and then Buhari went to arrest him. So this person said, I dislike him then and I still do, but that's no crime. He called for Igbos to boycott election. I hated him for that, but it was no crime. He was no hero. Then he started insulting Buhari when Buhari became president. And Buhari arrested him. Check the charges. They charged him for insulting Buhari. Can you just imagine? Buhari's wife arrested someone for insulting. These things are not crime. Then they release an exile. This was the premise of Peter Obi's message. We should never throw history away. And that's simple as that. We should never throw history away. We must go back to the beginning of this thing. If they had not arrested, he would have been there still talking. Maybe you get to talking, carry his camera, put his this thing, talk to the people he wants to talk to, you move on. But he decided that you are going to arrest someone for what? And this is, let me read now. Peter Obi's statement. It says Kanu's conviction. At a time like this, the news of Mazimna the Kanu's conviction should compel every well-meaning Nigerian to pause and reflect. This is coming at a time when our beloved nation is facing severe economic hardship, insecurity, and the consequences of poor governance. Rather than reducing tension, this unfortunate development may well only aggravate it. And I will just start here to say, honestly, everything this thing, but timing is very important. At a time when Nigeria is being accused of Christian genocide, at a time where the government is being okay, let me rephrase that. Let me not say accused of. At a time when the conversation on Christian genocide is happening, because indeed there's genocide happening all over, Christian, Muslim, whatever, there's genocide happening. Yes, and for me, if everybody, the one that anybody wants to focus on, let them focus. Let us all focus on them and get there. So when I say something like, oh, being accused, it seems as if there's no genocide. So I take that statement back. At a time when genocide is happening, it's being brought to the fore. At the time where Christian genocide is being talked about, Nnamdi Kanu is a Christian. Is he a Christian? He's Jewish, right? He's Jewish, but of course, most people see him more as Christian. And then with the whole issue of the kind of attention on the judiciary and how well they're not doing the right thing and everything, I would have thought this was the worst timing. It's not even whether the whole issue of the conviction. It's the worst timing. Honestly, it is. And that whole drama of him he has driven away his lawyers, his whatever. Okay, but let's just keep it that. Rather than reducing tension, this unfortunate development may well only aggravate it, said Peter Obi. I've always maintained that Mazi Kanu should never have been arrested. His arrest, detention, and now conviction represent a failure of leadership and a misunderstanding of the issues at stake. So that arrest is that first arrest where Buhari arrested him for what? Talking, insulting him? Really? For years, I've consistently argued that dialogue, constructive engagement, and inclusive governance offer the path to lasting peace. He has actually said that even when they talk about, the agitation from all over the country, he always said that he will talk with everybody, and where people don't listen to the talk, then he will use force on that. Coercion becomes necessary only when reason has been exhausted. In this case, I submit that reason was not only not exhausted, but was probably not explored at all or not fully explored. The concerns Kanu raised were not unheard of. The issues for which he demanded solution were not insoluble. It only required wisdom, empathy, and willingness to listen. In any functional society, such grievances are met with dialogue and reforms aimed at strengthening unity. And one of the things I've always said, this whole Biafra agitation, all you needed to do, put up a referendum. Ask everybody, let the Southeast vote whether the Southeast want to remain in Nigeria. And if they say no, have a clean exit. If the whole Nigeria want to disintegrate into 30 something states and they have UN is willing to accept it, so be it. Why all this wahala and whatever all over the place? The government approach has only deepened mistrust and created an unavoidable distraction at a time when citizens are overwhelmed by harsh economic realities and insecurity. While some insist that the law has taken its course, leadership often demands more than a strict mechanical application of the law. Nations around the world resort to political solutions, negotiated settlements, and even amnesty when legal processes alone cannot serve the broader interests of peace and stability. Nigeria is not an exception. The handling of Kanu's case mirrors the government as a man trapped in a hole, but who, instead of looking for a way out, keeps digging deeper. It forces not only the government's predicament, but also the nation's collective condition. If we truly desire a new Nigeria, a united, peaceful, and progressive one, our leaders must choose healing over hostility, reconciliation over retaliation, and dialogue over division. Only by addressing grievances with justice, fairness, and compassion can we move towards a future where every Nigerian feels heard, valued, and safe. My ultimate call at this time, without prejudice to how anyone feels about the decision of the court, is for us to be optimistic for peace and reconciliation, which will come in the end. I'm also saying thereby that the presidency, the Council of State, and credible statesmen who love this country and who are interested in cohesion and inclusivity should rise to the occasion for a lasting solution. And it was time, Pio. Thank you so much for watching.